I've been meditating for 6 to 7 years now, almost a decade at this point in time. And I wanted to understand what meditation really was, because as a kid, I didn't fully understand seeing Aang meditate in the state that he did. And I did come to realize that was how he was able to unlock his blockages so that he could get into the avatar state at will. And he was only able to do that by letting go of Katara, his friends, his family, and clearing all of his chakras so that he could enter the avatar state. And if any of us want to reach higher levels of consciousness, we have to be willing to let go of what we believe to be true, or our desires, our conditioning, our self-beliefs of oneself, to get to that next level. And it all starts with meditation. I myself have spent a lot of time, I had my retainers in. I figured it'd be better for me just to talk without them. So I've spent a lot of time meditating out in the woods, out in the deserts, just anywhere that I can. Even when I'm out in public, I'm meditating as well. Doctor's offices, anywhere in public. And I'm following my breath. I'm focusing on one thing whenever it comes around. Like even the other night too, when I was on the couch with this girl I'm talking to, I was focused more on hers and I's breath matching up and syncing together as one, compared to the movie or TV show that we were watching that night. And I enjoyed that aspect a whole lot more, because we do have this ability to gain higher levels of consciousness, and it all starts through meditation. Everybody's meditation is going to feel different. When I meditated for the first time, I was going through this, it was a meditation by Vanish. I can't remember the exact. It was the Code to the Extraordinary Mind. It was a book that I had just read, and he talked about visualizing and seeing all these different things. And I was like, okay, let's give this a try. Let's just sit on it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, maybe I'll have a surreal. I didn't even know what to expect. Like, I was just like, I'm at a very low point right now, and I don't want to be at this low point any longer. So what can I do to be able to get out of that point? And I was like, well, let's just try and meditate and see what happens. When I did this, I saw this vision of myself that was taller than a building, taller than the world, taller than space itself. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I have that within me. And I wanted to get closer to that person. I wanted to understand who that person was. And I spent many years afterwards, after that first initial meditation session that I had, trying to find that same feeling, or just trying to understand that feeling that I had and wanting to understand myself better. So what I would always do is I'd always look within myself. I'd spend time alone. I'd spend time in nature. I'd spend time focusing on my breath, because I wanted to get to that next state. I wanted to get into the avatar state at will. I wanted to be able to get there at any point in time. I wanted to understand what I was on the inside, because everybody had always told me, oh, you need to do this, or you need to do that, or you need to be this way, or you need to be that way. And I'm just like, well, what if I want to do this? Like, I've always had a dream of being able to make a living off of watching TV for a lifetime. Like, I thought that would be the coolest thing in the world, because it's just like, most of the time when I am out and talking, I typically end up watching like movies or TV shows or whatever it may be with my friends or family members. It's what I've done ever since I was a kid. So I was like, what if I could make that a reality, along with also being able to like go out and show my fitness journey and my meditation and all my other like activities that I do with talking to people, talking to strangers, interacting, traveling, experiencing the world and everything that it has to offer, along with women and finances and just whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. And I came to that realization of like, it is possible. And it all starts with meditation. And I recommend the meditation that I always have done is a mindful meditation breathing technique, where it's just a matter of focusing on the breath and bringing like your attention back to the breath whenever the thoughts pop up. And I asked this video, and I believe, or this question in the other video from yesterday's video, if I recall correctly, where I was wondering, like, do you guys think internally? Do you see images? Do you see thoughts? Do you see, like, pictures? Or is your mind blank? And my mind has always been blank, in a sense. Like, I've never had, like, internal dialogue all that much. Like, I'd see pictures when I was sleeping at night, but, like, it wasn't all constantly throughout the day. And everybody that I talk to, their mind is rushing. They're always having thoughts and ideas and all these other things going on in their head. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm just like, you don't just walk around and just like be like, just get up and fill up your water bottle or eat a cracker or whatever it may be. And they're like, no, I'm literally thinking about anything about me walking, looking at this and having all these random thoughts throughout the day. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. I had 3 sneezes. Typically, it's only 2. Yeah, I was always curious about that, and I was like, okay, maybe it's the type of meditation that I'm doing, because in the meditation, the Sam Harris, the Waking Up app is the one that I always use for meditating to help me get to this higher level of consciousness. He'd always be like, yeah, look at the thought. And I'd be like, what do you mean, look at the thought? I've been focused on my breath this whole time. That's what you told me to do, so that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on my breath. And I did that for many years. I had, I think, a 110-day streak, and the only reason the streak broke was because I was coming back from Australia. And there was a time change because I did meditate that day in Australia, but then I lost like 12 or 18 hours or something like that coming back to the States. And I was like, okay, well, this doesn't work. So I stopped using the app as much as I did originally, but I had a pretty good amount on the app, which if I look at it real quick for us, I had an average, I don't remember where it's at. Probably can't find it. Yeah, so I had to practice 2,151 minutes, and I had done 688 sessions within the app, a total of 9,277 minutes. So that's how many times I did it. Active days, I did almost 600 days of meditation within this app, 596. There'd be multiple other times where I would just be meditating in public. Like I was saying earlier, I'd be meditating anywhere that I would, and sometimes I wouldn't want to use the phone because I just wanted to go into the meditation myself. And over the past couple of months, I've learned new meditation techniques such as like Nadi Sutra, where instead of just focusing on like the breath and the diaphragm, the chest, the neck, or the nose, or wherever you feel your breath coming out, it's more of a reverse nostril breathing. So like you put one finger on one nose, you breathe in, and then you switch. You put your pinky on your left nostril, and you breathe out of your right nostril. And as you breathe out of your right nostril, then you breathe back in through your right nostril. And you put your thumb back on your right nostril, you close that, and then you breathe back out of your left nostril. And you do that back and forth for 5-10 minutes or so. And I was practicing that, and I was doing those things, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. It calmed my nervous system down, it calmed me down, it gave me a different way of focusing. I was like, wow, this is incredible. There's a couple of other meditation techniques that I've learned as well over these past couple of months, which have just kind of opened me up to this new realm of spirituality. Which Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the nomads, the air nomads, they were all about spirituality, all about connecting to their ancestors, connecting to themselves, not harming a fly, like just being present and being aware of their surroundings through meditation. And that's why in the other video that I was talking about, it's just like we don't have to change other people, we just have to change ourselves, and then everything else around us begins to change. And it begins with meditation. It begins with that self-inquiry that one is looking for. And I was always looking within myself. It's why I spent so much time alone. It's why I've spent so much time wanting to figure it out, because I just figured, like, after I had that first experience of seeing how big I could be, I was like, I want to be like that again. And what do I have to do to be able to get there? I'm just going to sit with myself. I'm just going to sit there and try to practice and show up every single day, because most people, from what I've come to see, they don't show up. They don't save. They don't have their expenses in order. They don't have their body in order. They don't have their mind in order, because they're stuck watching anime, or they're stuck playing video games, or they're stuck in life with their family members, or whatever it may be. And that was never somebody that I wanted to be. I wanted to be somebody that I could be proud of, that I could be a man when I looked in the mirror and I could say, hey, that is who I am. And this is what I do. Like, you can either like it or you're not, because there's an old saying, an old adage as to those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. So me doing what I do with my meditation, with my business, with my content, it's different from other people's out there. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm good with that. I wasn't always, as I was talking about, like, I was trying to make content for other people and tell you what to do and how to do it. And now it's just like, hey, these are things that I've done to find a sense of clarity, a sense of direction, a sense of purpose. And meditation was probably if not the best place that I ever started to understand myself better, to understand what I wanted in life, to understand who I was as a man, as a person. And it just helped me get closer to God, to the universe, to self. And it's something that I want to share with each and every single one of you. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some practice. And that's the best part about this whole thing. It's why I do yoga. It's why I lift at the gym. It's why I walk. It's why I go on runs. It's why I create these videos. because each video that I do, it is practice for me. Like, I'm getting thousands of impressions on these videos lately, and the CTR is a click-through rate, and it's interesting to see how it's not great. Like, it's a 1.8%, but my impressions is like 13,000 or something like that. So it's like I could change the title. I could change it to have it be more clickable and get more people to watch it. And maybe I will do that. I'm just also under the impression it's just like, this is what my intuition's telling me to do. So this is the title that I'm going to have, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm just giving what I can, and clearly the market space, the market isn't responding fantastic to these types of things. But it's like I said, I'm doing this for me now, and I'm talking about the things that I want to talk about and the references that I want to make to hopefully give you a different perspective on the world than maybe you originally had through looking at anime characters or characters in general. So I figured might as well give it a different approach and see where that takes us. And it's why I ask you to share these videos with your friends, your family, your grandma, your grandpa, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your enemies, or your loved ones. Like, just share the video anywhere, really. It doesn't matter if like it's on your Facebook page or your Instagram page or really any place in particular. If you found any sort of value in this and you made it this far to the video, that's my one ask. Just share it around, put it on your social media, link the video in the comments or something like that, or on your post, and we can hopefully have this reach more people than we thought possible and create a movement of individuals who are more in tune with themselves and their abilities, because they look at their characters and they look at each other and they're like, oh, I want to be like this or I want to be like that, and we start to grow and evolve as people by doing so. And one last thing, if you guys want to be coached one-on-one by me or make a donation to the channel, you can do that in the description down below.